Hey guys, welcome back. As you may know, I did get offline again very early Monday morning. It was in between the hours, local time for me, of I want to say 1 a.m. and 6 a.m., probably a little bit before that. So basically, the sleepy time for my server, I'm on an Eastern server, so it was during the time that everybody's asleep. And I'm going to show you the base real quick because I did a video that night because I had a suspicion that I was going to wake up to not having a base. So Wednesday, I started the base Wednesday night after work, and it was basically just a one high structure with some turrets on it. It had like 4 hours of work into it. And then Thursday was Thanksgiving. I didn't play on Thursday. And then Friday, I grinded all day Friday for it. And then the video I showed you on Friday was the base as of Friday, which basically everything done to the base was up to that point was on Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, I grinded all day Saturday and then most of the day Sunday. And then one of my guild mates helped me Saturday and Sunday. And then for probably about 4 hours on Sunday, we were defending against these other guys. And then one of my guild mates was watching my base while I was defending another base. And she was just like kind of trying to farm near the base, but also stay near it to watch it. And so that was pretty interesting. But we had a really good time PvPing that night for the guys that were raiding us while we were online. That was a lot of fun. So all in all, not a whole lot of time was able to be invested in the space before it got offline again, because we had a couple hours Wednesday and then all day Friday I played, all day and all night Friday, so about 14 hours. And then same thing with Saturday, and then Sunday kind of half a day, and then Saturday, Sunday I had help. I think that if I had maybe, which I never would have been able to get this anyway, but if I had like another solid 2 days of grinding, it would have been much better, because that final Sunday was the day that we farmed a lot of Reformation stones, and plus I had help to farm, so we were knocking those out. So we went from having like maybe 20 Reformation stones to having like 50 for the base, which was still a pretty small base. So I'm going to show you in a minute here. So as always, it's more about practicality versus style. And I'll always say that there's a guy on my server with a beautiful, massive base. It's got tons of defenses on it, and it's got tons of Reformation stones, but it is still not as practical as having something that has better line of sight. He's got a lot of line of sight issues with his roof, and I talked to him about it, but he doesn't really care because of the amount of Reformation stones that he has and the amount of ornate layering that he has. He doesn't really care. So for like a base that's that big, it would take a really big group, and they'd probably catch them before they could do anything. So without further ado, here we go. I did make the footage because I was pretty positive I was going to get offline, and it is a thing in this game right now, and we'll see what the developers do. There's a few things they're doing, but I haven't shown you guys the different exploits that I've seen people use because, I don't want to like give people ideas on how to raid, but there's some really broken stuff right now that will probably get fixed because the developers are trying to roll out patches to make the game better for everybody. That trap 4 was there so that I could do work underneath the base to honeycomb that under part, add like Reformation stones and add other things, which of course I had plans for it, but it fell through. But all that was honeycombed, and most of that is like multiple layers deep of honeycombed walls with diagonal walls in it. And then roofs. So it's very compartmentalized on the bottom. This is the crafting area and part of the power bank. It's all surrounded by honeycombed walls. So there's no single point of entry to the base. Pretty decent crafting area as far as like being able to get to everything. Always trying to find places to put your mana nodes and things like that as well. So I think we're going to go upstairs, and then this is like another airlock, so that if they get into the main or into the tame room, which is where we are, they're not necessarily automatically into the crafting area. So that's there. And then this is like the tame room and where I have the farms. We have another little power area. And all that, of course, is honeycombed as well. It's where I kept like the mystical conjurers, rune recyclers. It's a lot more space than down below, because the bottom portion is and was the most important. Reformation stones spread out throughout there, but also in the walls and stuff. This door leads to like the top airlock. All this is up here is just an extra layer, so that if they break through the roof, they have to break through this additional layer, which they did break in through the roof. So, which means they did have to break through this layer as well. And then it's just got like Reformation stones and extra power and mana nodes. And so yeah, I was just gonna like try to basically pepper this place with a bunch of mana nodes, or not mana nodes, sorry, Reformation stones and turrets and stuff, so that like it really guarded the roof well. Wasn't able to get to that, as you can tell, because my base got thrown. But yeah, and then that little door is like an airlock so that I could get up there without having to destroy anything. And then if they broke into the roof, they still had to break through an additional piece to get to the tame area. And so we should be going outside here. Oh yeah. So this isn't honeycombed, but I was going to fill this with more Reformation stones. But like that middle layer is honeycombed there. And then that entire left side is pretty much honeycombed, and there's a couple of Reformation stones in the wall. That's a door that I accidentally put there, but I just left it there because it has 20k HP. And so that wall is got a lot of layers on it, and that was like line of sight wise, that was one of the tougher areas, so I reinforced that first. And then here is like the airlock for the doors, so there's one door there, and then there's another door, so that if they break through the ornate door, they still have to break through the airlock. Plus, once they break that door, if the turrets are still up, they'll get shot by some turrets too. So, and that's the only door point of entry. Now this is like the outside area. It's for the most part covered in that obelisk. So they did go in through the roof. So I would say, they have like 20 people in their guild, but based off of what I initially heard, it was probably about 5 or 6. They were saying that it was only 2 people, but honestly, I highly doubt it was only 2 people, just because it would be hard to heal through the damage with 2 people. And so I'm pretty sure that was just them talking crap, trying to rile me up. But if it was 2 people, let's see the video. And before you say, why would I have a video? Well, you specifically rated me because I'm on YouTube, and there's a button on the PlayStation controller called share. So that's why I would think you would have a video, but I haven't seen that yet. I'll be interested to see it. If it is 2 people, I'd say, hey, I was wrong, but I'd be willing to bet money that it wasn't just 2 people. But what I'm assuming they did was partially because I talked to one of the guys in the guild, which really cool guy, by the way. They probably spread damage out throughout the areas of the base they weren't going to hit yet. And then that way the Reformation stones start healing the walls and stuff. And then they focus on one area, which is going to be that right pillar. They knocked that pillar down and then broke in through the roof right there. The reason I know that is because I went to the base and that pillar was gone, and the rest of the base was kind of still intact. So they went in through the roof. And then from there, it's just less and less. Once you get inside of a base, it's going to be less and less things, less and less obstacles, except for like walls and stuff. So they probably had to go through maybe a marble wall. They might have went through, or a marble floor, and then they still would have had to gone through the ornate, or they might have just went right for the ornate and then gone through that to get to the throne. And I'm pretty sure if they went through this side, the bottom, like the bottom crafting area, I'm pretty sure I honeycombed the throne. I don't remember, but it's pretty obvious where the throne is, just because it's the only part of the floor in this part of the section that had ornate. And the whole reason behind that is if they're in this part of the base, they're going to get through eventually. So I was just trying to buy as much time as I could. So yeah, that was the base up to that point. Wish I had more time, but yeah, it was only a few days. Had it help a couple of days, but we'll try again here in a little bit. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, ask questions below, and until next time.